Hey everyone, it's been a bit. Um, this build I've been working on is pretty much my take on kind of making a case and theme overall that blends into the new white Strixes. Um, I bought all this stuff myself, so even though it looks super fanboy, I guarantee you none of it was paid for by anyone other than me. Um, so the case is a Jonsbo Mod 5. It's been painted white. It came gray. Uh, all of this stuff over here, I stripped and then I polished it, so it's like not to a complete mirror, but mirror enough that when it has when the light hits it, it matches the chromish look on the cooler itself. That was kind of what I was going for. I went with chrome tubing. I'm using the EKWB all-in-one. That's a reservoir, pump, and block for OGA 1700. They also have it for AM5. You can kind of reserve it now. I will say for that block, you will have to connect like a small reservoir to it to fill it. It is a bitch to fill, to get rid of all the air bubbles and such. At the bottom is I just made a mount to hold the two rings. And oh, I painted every part of this case pretty much. So this is some silver, I got it out of a can. I really should have done it with the proper paint, but I got it out of a can. I think it's Rust-Oleum metallic. It worked out pretty well. Spec-wise, we have the Z790 Apex and the 13900 KS, 1000 watt Thor 2 at the bottom. All right, and let me just twirl it around. I think some people might be kind of thinking, where did you get these Asus fans? I can tell you these fans are actually Antec fans. Um, they're actually really good, by the way. They're PWM. They have daisy chain cables, so that you're not running this super long wire fan cable for every fan. And you know what? Actually, let me pause the video. I'll get them out of the box. Actually, I don't have any more. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so these are actually Antec fans that I stuck Asus ROG stickers on, that I made myself, simply because they don't make white fans that aren't RGB, pukish, etc. And in the back, I put my logo on there. Um, Cabling wise, not much here, just 24 pin and a 16 pin that I run through the bottom. But yeah, I did the same thing on this side. I stripped all the paint and I polished it. On the inside, I just kept it white. Um, Over here, just some small graphic detail. I don't know how well you can see, but I did get rid of this black bar and turned it into something that's white and chromish that matches. I originally wasn't going to have all these black screws. I was going to change all the screws for silver and then and not have any black on the cables. But then I realized it just looked so bland. It needed like a touch of contrast. And that's kind of why I ended up going with the black hardware anyway. Same goes to the PSU. I was going to take it apart and paint it white. And I realized really no point, can't see it. And when the PSU went in there, that touch of contrast really became very important to me. Um, Aside from that, I don't know if you can see from the bottom. See this little plate over here that's 3D printed, just to kind of hide the wire mess that's behind there. This case doesn't have amazing wire management, so you really need to kind of be meaningful with your wires. Use custom length cables if possible. As you can see, I mean, all my wires are down there. They're in a neat, organized mess. Not really of a mess, but neat enough. Just want to go over some parts of the case real quick. The front, this is a 360 bits power Leviathan XF, which is the same thing as I think a Hardware Labs. I want to say GTX, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But the stock radiator bracket will not take thick rads. Even last generation's EK rads are too thick. You pretty much need to go rad to fan, then to bracket. If you want to go from rad to bracket, then you need the slimmer rad. So a lot of most of the GTS rads will fit. So if you buy a Corsair rad, you're getting a GTS rad, right? So stuff like that. So this is a Leviathan XF, therefore the slim will also fit. It also allows for a 360 at the bottom, but I didn't see the need since I was just cooling a 13900 KS. But as for the amount of space for you to put a pump, etc., if you water block the GPU, you will have a lot of space to, like, let's say, put maybe like an FLT here, or put the pump over here. But if you're vertical verticaling the GPU like I did, you lose so much space in this case that you really need something like a pump block like this, all right, or something similar, or something else down there that's kind of petite, like the Bits Power small res water tank with pump. Um, so yeah, that pretty much sums it up for this build. It's just personal preference of being a ROG fan, I guess. For those that are curious, the white Strixes, they offer the same performance as the black. They have a premium on them. Um, Personally, I think the white paint this time, it's kind of a matte. It's a flat finish. Last generation, it was a shiny finish because it's on plastic. This time it's on metal. That's why it's kind of that flatness. But I'll put a, you know what, let me grab one here. Uh, Here's a black one. All right, it's the same size, right? Same look, just instead of the red and blue, you get the chrome. Um, so yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this build. Just quick chat on it. For those of you curious, the next build will be an Antec that I've been posting on my social. I'm working on. But in terms of a video I plan to look into is I actually decided to make some comparisons. So I'm going to compare in terms of just out the box and cooler performance. I think that's kind of important to some folks, and I think some people buying 4090s these days, or even 4080s or whatever it may be, they tend to upsell themselves into a higher variant and not understanding exactly is there an actual performance gain. So what I'm going to do moving forward on the next video I come out with is I'm going to compare this 4080, I'm sorry, this 4090 OC. Okay, so this is the top line Strix versus, what is this? 4090 Gaming Tough base 4090 from Asus, 4090 Trio, and 4090 Supreme. Okay, so you get the cheapest from MSI, the most expensive from MSI, uh, aside from the AIO thing, which is the exact same card, and you get the cheapest from Asus, and then the most expensive from Asus, minus the color tax, which is this one. Okay, so that's pretty much what's coming up next. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.